I had an idea of what I thought evil was. I always thought evil was like people that committed crimes against children, rapists, and things like that. People think evil has a face, but it doesn't. It comes in all shapes, forms, sizes, colors, genders, and you can't be mindful of who you let into your space, who you let into your life. Sometimes there are blatant signs, and sometimes people with their mask on and masquerade, and you don't know until they take it off. Karim was masterful in keeping his lies in order. What he did to me and other women was just reckless and diabolical. I did not see him coming. He's not going to understand the carnage he left behind. He's a sociopath. He just didn't care as long as he got what he wanted. And that's evil. Me and Karim met at a local hospital we were working at. We were responsible for training him. My first impression of Karim was he was friendly, charming. He really talked a lot. To me, our conversations were harmless. I mean, it's two co-workers talking to each other about life and about my children, and him talking about school.
I've been debating going to nursing school, actually.
Really? Yeah, I mean, I think you should do it. You would be really good at it.
At the time, I had an ex-boyfriend that was stalking me. My ex would sometimes come to the hospital where we worked. Me and Karim were standing outside, and my ex drove right up to where we were standing.
Sarita!
What are you doing here?
You won't answer the phone.
Because I don't want to talk to you.
And Karim's like, get away from here. She doesn't want to talk to you anymore. Now you're trespassing.
This ain't none of your business.
And he basically told him, you can go voluntarily or involuntarily.
You can either leave now or you can leave when the police show up. Sarita!
Oh, he left. I didn't feel like I needed protecting, but the fact that he went the extra mile to do it, I thought it was sweet, and I thought it came from a genuine place.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Now, in hindsight, I feel like that he had an agenda. I think that was part of his plan, too, to make me feel safe. But he's a wolf in sheep's clothing, because behind that facade, he had ill intentions. He was approaching me like predator to prey. I didn't know where things were going, but we just knew we were attracted to each other. It was like an intense attraction. The first time we had sex, he was like, it's your choice. We can use a condom or not.
You have protection?
Oh, I didn't bring any.
I have some.
He was more than willing to not wear a condom. He just told me it didn't matter to him.
I mean, I'm fine if we don't use one, but if you want to, we can.
And I told him, no, you need to put on a condom.
I'd rather be safe.
Knowing what I know now, it makes me angry. He knew what he was doing was wrong. Right from the beginning, you were willing to expose me to that. Him saying a condom or no condom. If something did happen, he could say, oh, you made the choice to not use a condom. I gave you a choice. You saying it's optional, he didn't even make an effort to protect me from him. He was gambling with my health. He was gambling with my life. He didn't care. I don't think he thought about his health or mine. He just wanted to have sex with me. We started spending more time together. And I told him I don't want anything just casual. we should be in a relationship when I'm in relationships. So he's like, if we're going to be in a relationship, I don't want to use condoms. I said, well, we need to get tested. And until we're tested, we're going to use condoms. Karim agreed to go get himself tested. And we waited to sleep together again until everybody's results were read.
Hey, you. Guess what?
The STD tests are basically randomized. Then you have to ask and give them permission for the HIV test. So I got tested for all that.
I got my results back.
Karim was supposed to go get the same test I was getting. When my results came back, everything was fine.
What about yours?
Oh. Yeah, right.
I showed him my papers. But when he took his test, he only showed me the STD or HIV.
What about the HIV test? Why is that not on here?
I asked him, where's the printout for your HIV test? And he said, oh, they said I didn't need to have a printout. They would contact me if anything was wrong, which sounded familiar to me. I felt like I was pretty street smart and I could recognize when somebody was trying to BS me, but, you know, some doctors like, oh, we don't call you, everything's fine, no with him.
I never got a phone call, so I guess it's all good.
But I wholeheartedly believe that he did not get tested for HIV because he knew the answer already. That was the first of many lies he told that started off like a domino effect. He told this one lie, now he has to keep lying.
So you want to skip dinner and go straight to the bed, or?
Hold down.
He didn't care about my health. He didn't care about my children. He couldn't have, because he absolutely knew that he could pass the virus to someone. But my trust in him, I got on birth control pills and we never used condoms again. I thought that I was being responsible. Every time he slept with me without a condom was a chance that he was giving me HIV. One of my coworkers seemed to have an attitude about me and him getting closer. I just thought she was like a woman scorned or she was jealous.
Aww. Look at you two. Aren't y'all so cute?
Morning, she came through the door to the security office. She said, hey, Karim, where's your wife? How's she doing?
How's the missus these days?
Why don't you just shut up?
He raised his voice and was like, why are you always messing with us? Why don't you just mind your business and stuff and stop acting like a bitch?
What did you just call me?
You heard me.
It alarmed me at that time because I had never seen him act that way. I'd never heard him be disrespectful. I think this is just one of her shenanigans that she's been pulling. But I still asked him, like, why would she say that particular thing?
What is she talking about?
It's nothing. It's nothing.
Did it sound like nothing?
He told me that. He was with his ex-fiancée for 5 years, and we applied for a marriage license, but we didn't get married. She called off the engagement.
Excuse me?
Just didn't know how you react.
I felt like it was believable because I've been to his house. I didn't see anything female in his house. It looked like a bachelor pad. And the fact that we were together so much, and I felt like if he had a wife, she would be calling, like, why are you not coming home and stuff.
At this point, you really think I'm married?
I just really felt like that coworker was really just messing with us, and the explanation
Come on, we gotta clock in for work.
Now I know that he was lying, and that was only one small lie. There was much bigger ones waiting for me. My mother knew I was dating Karim because my son told her. So the natural next step was to introduce him to my mom. She really liked him. They got close to a point where they had each other's numbers. The time I brought up not having met his family was Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. I'm out of here.
Take care of you too.
Thanksgiving came. And I was like, you know, what are you doing? Can I meet your mom? Can I come over?
The kids and I don't have plans, so I was thinking maybe you would like us to join you?
He said no.
I don't think that's a good idea.
My mom, you met my kids. I haven't met anyone from your family. You haven't even brought up the subject. Why am I bringing it up and you're not?
Why not?
And his explanation was they still talk to my ex-fiance. They're still attached to her. Even though we broke up, she's still in contact with them. And my mom has made the statement, don't bring anybody around me unless you're engaged.
Look, trust me. You don't want to meet my mom right now, won't?
The explanation he gave me seemed reasonable just based on the time frame we had been together. I mean, we hadn't even been together a whole year. She had been in his life for 5 years. So I could understand that.
I don't want to think that you're trying to hide me.
Come on. You know it's not like that. You got plenty of time to meet them.
But Christmas 2013, it was another opportunity for the families to get nobody else from the outside. It's just family. So at that point, I just stopped asking. When I look back on it and I know what was really behind the scenes, it was masterful. I now know Kareem's mother knew that he had HIV. And I believe Kareem didn't want me to interact with any of his family so he could keep his secrets. Kareem had an insatiable appetite for sex. He wanted it all the time, every day, multiple times a day. One time we were in bed about to go to sleep and we were just talking like we always did.
What?
I want to leave my mark.
I just want to leave an impression on you. I want to leave an impression on your life, even if we break up.
I want to make sure you never forget me.
I just melted like butter. I felt like I found the person that I could be with long term. He made me really happy. I really loved him. When I think back, those words haunt me because he did leave an impression on my life, in my life that I can't get rid of. What did he mean by that comment? I went over it over and over in my mind what he actually meant by that statement. I'm going to leave an imprint on your life even if we don't work out. He did exactly what he said he was going to do. It could have been the first time or the 10th time, but if you say you're going to get it. I was sleeping with the enemy. I was suspicious of everybody else but him. And the chaos was laying right next to me. Last time I felt normal was April or May 2000. The next couple of days after that, I thought I had the flu. Because I had a high fever, body aches, congestion. I just felt horrible. And I felt like that for about a week and a half, 2 weeks, maybe longer than the flu should last. That's when I started going to the doctor. Kareem would come with me to the doctor. He was like, if you don't mind, I'd like to come too, because I want to know what you know. He was acting like he was concerned, but I think he was trying to keep a watchful eye.
Same symptoms, huh?
It took them so long to find out what was wrong with me. Even the doctor was scratching his head like, I don't know what's going on.
This,
Your labs don't look good. I don't know what's happening.
What do you think it is?
blood work is concerning.
And the doctor was like, I'm going to send you this to a nutritionist. And Kareem was like, see, I've been telling you, you need to get on your nutrition and stuff. Then he was like, Doc, I tried to tell her she needs to eat healthier.
All you need to do is exercise.
Playing the role that he thought he should.
I want you to talk to a specialist. In the meantime, I'll run some more tests and we'll see what we find.
In retrospect, I think he was just keeping a watchful eye to see exactly what was going on with my health or if they said anything about HIV or anything. He was going to the doctor's appointments to see what his next move should be. He probably knew he was making me sick. He was like, I want you to get better. I hope we find out soon what's causing this. Karim watched me get sick and never said a thing. I was progressively getting worse. I started getting this condition, like these blotches on my skin, and it would just burn. Losing more weight. I wore a beanie all the time. At one point, I was so sick, I couldn't bathe myself.
I don't know what's wrong with me.
I had got down to 135, and I looked like death. It was scary because I didn't know what was going on. I went to the doctor, and he said, your labs look really bad.
I don't like the looks of this.
These are signs of HIV. First time HIV was ever mentioned, but I didn't think that's what it was because we both got tested and it was negative.
That's impossible.
He asked me if he could run an HIV test and I told him, sure. You're wasting your time, go ahead.
I still want to make sure.
Okay, I don't think that's gonna change anything, but
Karim was with me and he was like, don't cry, everything's gonna be okay. He sat there with a sheet.
There's gotta be something else. It can't be that.
Why would it be HIV? We got tested. And I was like, I know. Like, I said, well, let him run the test. I mean, we don't have anything to hide. He didn't even flinch.
I'm sure when they figure it out, they'll call us and they'll let us know.
He didn't look worried. He didn't get fidgety. He was just sitting there with his arm around me. He said, babe, everything on. I was near death, and he knew that. And at any point in time, he could have said, maybe it's this. So can you check for this? Rather than watch me deteriorate.
Let's go.
It was cruel for him to watch me suffer. He'd rather me get sick and die than tell me the truth. When I went home after that doctor's visit, I was pretty confident that I did not have HIV. We went back to my house and we started researching what type of cancers we thought it might be. Maybe it's lung cancer or leukemia or something. But we were kind of going back and forth about the possibility. He just started like, I don't know what it is. He was like, I hope the doctor can find out what's going on.
We know it's not HIV.
He always acted like he was concerned and his actions matched his words, so I had no reason to think he was lying about anything.
Maybe this one?
yeah, maybe.
Now I know he knew or had an idea what was going on. He probably still thought that he could get away with it or finesse me into believing whatever lie he was going to tell me at that point.
We're gonna get through it, okay?
Karim claimed to love me, which I think is BS because you can't watch somebody suffer and claim that you love them. I was dying and he knew something was very wrong and he still said nothing. He watched me suffer. The next Thursday, I was in the ICU. I had been running a fever for 3 days, and I kept throwing up. I felt like I was dying. So I went to the hospital, and they told me everything that was wrong with me.
What is it?
Miss Anderson, I know your doctor ran an HIV test, and he said we also ran an HIV test, and we're sorry to tell you that you have HIV. And I was like, no. And I'm like, do you have the right patient?
Must have made a mistake.
Unfortunately, yes, ma'am.
We ran several tests.
And then I found out other illnesses I had in the ICU. Inflammation of the liver. I had hepatitis, which is inflammation of my kidneys. I had a UTI. I had severe anemia. My hair was gone. My nails were gone. I had lost 65 pounds. My blood sugars were out of whack. I had a pancreatitis and gallstones. Karim was responsible for everything but my diabetes. Everything was a direct, they told me a month or less and I would have been gone. I would have died.
We should discuss treatment options.
Not right now.
They said, do you have any questions? I was like, no, get out of my room.
Just get out.
Then I called Karim. I was like, you need to get here, and you need to get here right now. He said, what's wrong? I'm like, just get up here right now.
I'm in the ICU.
I knew he had it because he was the only one that I slept with, so he gave it to me.
Just hurry up.
I just was anxious for him to get there because I wanted answers. I never thought he gave it to me on purpose. I thought he cheated on me. But it made me want to kill him. Like, literally kill him. When he walked in, I said, who did you cheat on me with? And he was like, what? I said, Karim, I have HIV. Who did you cheat on me with?
Who is she?
What are you talking about?
What? HIV? I was like, it's not cancer, it's HIV. So who did you cheat on me with? He's like, I never cheated. And I was like, stop lying. Stop that now. I'm in the ICU and I'm basically dying from HIV. So, and you gave it to me. So where did you get it from?
What did you do to me, you son of a bitch?
If you cheated on me or you lied about your test, he was like, no, I took that test. It was negative. So you cheated on me.
I didn't sleep with anyone.
I said, this is not making sense.
It's either one or the other. Which one is it?
You say you didn't lie about your test. That was the first time that he did not have all the answers. Oh my God. I don't know what happened. He was leaning over like this and stuff, trying to conjure up some tears, reacting the way he thought he should react by, kneeling over and making the faces like he was crying, but there was like one tear. Now I think about it, it's comical. Those tears out. And they weren't there. That's why I think he's a sociopath. He has no conscience or humanity. I think that's all emotions he learned to fake. I was like, something about this is not right. I don't know what it is, but he's lying to me. And I've never thought he lied to me.
Get the hell out! I don't want to look at you.
I was like, I don't want to hear any more lies. Just get out of my room. Felt like I went into a grieving period. And he was just making it worse. So I didn't want to talk to him. I blocked his number. When he would come to my house, I didn't answer the door. I just kept telling him I didn't want to talk to him. But I honestly thought that he cheated on me. It never about that test. This is a report from when I was admitted to the hospital. This is September 17th, 2014. This is not even everything that was wrong. The patient is critical, will stay in ICU. The HIV affected everyone, killed me. They told me a month or less I would have died, but just to see it in writing, the patient is critical. Really like on a official document. It was kind of hard to look at. I knew I was bad, but I didn't know I was that bad. Depressed. I was heartbroken and I didn't know if I was gonna live or die. And I was just like, this is a bad dream. Like, this can't be happening. How did my life get to this point. A month ago, I was fine. I was happy. How did I get here? I'm gonna get AIDS and die a horrible death. I blamed myself. Like, I should have saw something. I should have saw some red flags. I couldn't fight through this. I fought through a lot, but this broke me. It broke me into little pieces. And so I took an overdose of insulin. I passed out, and the next thing I remember is my mom was like, get up, get up. She said she knocked on the door because she saw my car outside, but I didn't answer, so she used her key to come back. So that's how she wound up calling the ambulance.
Where am I? Back at the hospital.
I was like, Mom, why did you save me? I was trying to die. Why did you save me?
Why did you just leave me there? I don't want to be here anymore. Don't say that.
It has a purpose for you. You're here for a reason, and you have a purpose that you have not yet found yet, but He's preparing you for something. And I started thinking, I was like, what purpose could I possibly have?
I know you don't think you can get through this, but you will.
That's me and baby day old. He looked like a little peanut wrapped in a blanket, so I started calling him Peanut. When I first found out I was pregnant, I didn't know how to feel about the baby. First person I called was Karim, and he said, you have to get rid of it. I don't want to have a baby like this. I was like, I don't want to have HIV like this, but here we are. Whether he accepted it or not, I was going to go through with the pregnancy anyway. But the doctor told me if I kept taking my HIV medication, there was only a 5% chance that I would pass HIV to my unborn child. They tested him right after birth, and it was negative. I felt like it was a miracle, and I didn't know why I was given that miracle, but I was just waiting for somebody to will me to go to see him. This was a happy day for me, and a lot of sadness. He was some happiness. It took a lot from both of us for him to get here. That's the day I said, no, I'm gonna live. I chose life that day. I can't do it. I can't kill myself. I immediately called his mother and told her everything. I wanted her to know what was going on.
Hi, my name is Sarita, and I'm sure you have no idea who I am.
I told her my name, and I said I've been dating Karim, and I have HIV. And she said, what? And she started crying, and she said, have you talked to his wife?
He's married?
That was a surprise to me. After I found out he was married, I went on social media and found her. And I sent her a message and told her everything that was going on. A week after I started communicating with Karim's wife, I found out that she was HIV positive too. She told me that he had given it to her medication. That was like an aha moment. This is my purpose. This is why I was infected. The purpose was to stop him from infecting other women. But it was too late. I didn't realize how many other women he had infected. This is my social media post when I announced to everyone I was HIV positive and who gave it to me. If I die, this is gonna be my dying declaration. I have to tell people what happened. After all he's done to turn my life upside down, I'm here to testify that evil can look like anything. Karim is going around like he's okay. He is not letting people know his current situation. I have no reason to lie. I was faithful. He's the only one I've been with for 2 years. I'm saying all this to warn people to be careful who you let in your life. Really get to know someone before taking risk. I thought I was in a happy relationship, and 4 words turned that all around. You are HIV positive. When I woke up, I had a million notifications from people. Immediately my phone was ding 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 going off. I was finding out that he was in these singles groups. Some of his friends would say he's in these dating groups and, he's dating someone down the way and he's not being honest. True was I slept with him a couple months ago or whatever. I opened up Pandora's box and I started to build a timeline. People were like, wait, when did you get diagnosed? Because I was with him, and a lot of the time it was before me. His wife told me she tested positive in 2009. I got an anonymous message from someone from the county clinic. That said he had tested positive in 2010 and he never came back for any medicine. I immediately blew my top. By the time I was involved in a relationship with Karim, he had already been giving women. I didn't want to believe it, but it made too much sense. This is why he didn't act surprised. But I was devastated all over again, because now I'm like, maybe he didn't cheat on me, but the alternative is much worse. It's much worse. You tried to kill me. Karim knew every time he slept with me without a condom. I hated his guts. I wished death on him every day. Every second of every day, I was thinking, why is he still breathing? Why is he still walking around? Why is he able to enjoy himself? Why has anybody killed him? It made me mad that he was alive. To the point where it's like, if nobody else is gonna kill him, I'm... So I would just sit up and think about ways about forensics and things I've seen on TV and what is the easiest way I can get away with it. But me hating him didn't do anything to him. It was hurting me because it was turning me into a person. So I had a colleague at the hospital we worked at that was a police officer. And he told me it's a crime to intentionally infect someone with HIV. When he gave me that information, it gave me hope. There's another outlet than shooting him. There is a way to get him without getting myself locked up. I called the police and told them I wanted to file a report, and they turned my case over to the Special Victims Unit. I gave the police all the information I had collected. I was on like a crusade to get him.
I have medical records, text messages. Tell me what you need to put him away.
I was trying to get all the people I found on board so we could get... I'm not the only one that he gave it to. There's other women. I've already found 12.
I've been messaging the other women.
The officer asked, would they be willing to give me a statement?
Do you think you can get any of them to come forward?
I said, everybody said no.
I tried. They don't want to talk. Does this mean that you can't arrest him?
Not necessarily. Right now it's your word against his.
I often wondered what my purpose was. I kept asking, why me, why me? Well, my conclusion was it had to be me. I had to be broken to be put back together stronger so I can bring him to justice. Nobody else wanted to come forward. That's why it had to be me. I feel like I was chosen.
Whatever it takes, he has to be stopped.
waiting years, but it was a matter of months before he was arrested. This was a good day. This is Kareem's mugshot. The SBU detective said we have a warrant for his arrest and we're going to be serving it to him in the morning. So I called Kareem the next morning and he was like, what are you talking about now? I was like, the police are coming for you. And I wish I could be there. And he was like, you always talking negative. And I just hung up on him. That was 8 o'clock. He was arrested at 9. I think he was very surprised when he got arrested. He got arrested at his job while he was on duty. So that probably hurt him more than anything for people to see him being arrested when I saw this. I was wondering, what is he thinking right now? And that's what I think of when I see this. What is he thinking right here? There's no smiling or anything in this picture. That was his last day as a free man. So that makes me happy. Yeah, I like this picture. The last time I saw Kareem was after he got sentenced, and I went one time to the county jail I asked him, why did you do this to me?
I just want to know why.
And he said, would you have been with me if I told you? And I said, if you had no wife and you had been honest with me and you were the person that you portrayed yourself to be, yes.
That doesn't answer my question.
One of my questions to Kareem was, why did you try to kill me? Did you intentionally go into our relationship knowing that you were going to infect me with HIV, and why? And he doesn't like that. I never tried to kill you. I said, well, I almost died and you sat there and watched.
I didn't want you to die.
No, I didn't. My intention was not to kill you. I love you. I was like, so your intentions were not to kill me with anything. Because I didn't think I was the one making you sick. Nobody else got sick. And I was like, this is a bunch of BS. Like, I was getting madder the more I talked to him. He said, why you so mad? I didn't rape you. He said, you could have told me to put on a condom at any time. I didn't rape you.
I don't know why you get so upset anyway.
When he said, I didn't rape you, I said, yeah, but you raped my life.
My world?
You took my choice. You didn't take my body, but you took my choice away. I think sometimes he did it for fun. It was about power. And rape is about power. I gotta be left. I have not seen or spoken to him since that day. My son doesn't see him. My son doesn't speak to him. There's no difference between a rapist and Kareem. Because Kareem doesn't take choices. He still looks evil. I think that's a current picture of him. It's just like, yeah. I don't get it. I didn't ever expect to see his face again. So that caught me off guard. Yeah, I don't want to see his face. That other picture you showed me, I've seen that a bunch of times. But yeah, his eyes look dead. He doesn't look happy in this picture. This is not the face I fell in love with. He just looks blank and behind his eyes. He's still in jail, so as long as he's in jail, I'll feel like justice is served. It doesn't matter if he's suffering or he's having a good time. He doesn't have the things that are important to him, his freedom to come and go. So those things that are were important to him were taken away. I don't get any satisfaction of when he's in jail. I'm just glad he can't hurt anybody else. Karim was definitely a wolf in sheep's clothing. I was told by the detective that they found that his most active year, meaning the year that he infected the most women, was 2015. Who knows how many women he infected or how many women died, and he doesn't care. I know of 12 women that he's infected. I do believe there's more. He's evil. He's diabolical, reckless, careless, negligent. All those things. All those things rolled into one. He has no empathy. He can't have any empathy because he did it over and over. He didn't have any care of women or their families or children or anything like that. He didn't take into account any of the carnage he would leave behind. He was just going to get what he wanted and to hell with everybody else. But I'm not gonna let that define my life. I wanted to bust up the stigma around HIV and what it looks like. It happened to me, still here. If you have HIV, you can go into an undetectable status, which is the goal. It means you have so little of the virus in your system that it can't be measured by any test. And once you're undetectable, you can't transfer HIV to anyone. So I've been undetectable for years now. Through my research, I found a lot of stories like mine, and people just throw those stories to the side because when it's happening to everyday people. Hopefully I can inspire somebody else to go get tested or be more careful in vetting their partner. You can't catch everything. You might run across a Karim, but most people are not like that.
It's difficult to talk about it. Really, it is. It's hard to look back and see how it happened. Just thinking back of everything that I went through with him. We think we know who we live with, but you really don't. We imagine it being someone else, but it's someone that lives in the house. It's someone that looks innocent. It's someone we trust. It's been 30 years, and I say, wow, I was one of the lucky ones.
I tried to stop a lot of times.
People like him can't be allowed to do those things. I'm going to see to it that they put him away.
I knew that I was going to be caught sooner or later.
Afraid. This James is a monster. I've got to figure out what am I going to do to get him caught. For me, that was nothing but revenge. He pretty much met his worst enemy, and that was me. When I met James, I was 20. I met him through people that I knew. On our first date, we both are Catholics, and James said that he was an altar boy when he was young. And he talked about it very proudly, so he just seemed like a really nice person. Then, he said, I'll call you soon.
I'll get it.
And I was expecting it to be something like a couple of days, but it was...
James?
That was James's pattern, just calling constantly. He'd go to work. He would call me up on all lunch breaks.
How many times is he going to call?
My family just did not like the fact that he called all the time. Every time the phone rang, oh, it's him. It's him again.
Tonight. Sure.
Can you get him to stop calling all the time? I didn't see anything wrong with him.
Bye.
I just felt like, y'all are just jealous because someone's interested.
There's something wrong with that boy.
I guess maybe they sensed something I didn't. We did all the fun things you would think a couple would do. He would bring me flowers. He would bring me small little gifts. And he was very, very kind. But he did have a jealous streak. This one night, it was late at night, and I was in bed. The phone was ringing, and I knew it was James. And I didn't feel like talking to him, so I ignored it. And all of a sudden, I heard a vehicle in front of the house. And you can hear the screeching of the tires. It's almost like if someone's doing a donut. You can tell somebody's angry. So I saw his blue truck just drive like a maniac. I thought, wow, that was James. What did I do? Maybe I should have answered that phone call. Then the phone rang within 2 minutes. I knew when that phone rang, it was him. When I picked up the phone, he just said, "Hey, it's me, James."
Hello?
Are you okay? I says, yes. I said, are you okay? He says, yeah, I just got off work. Just wanted to see if you're okay.
Yeah, fine. I was in bed.
He didn't act upset or anything. He was calm and as if nothing happened. That was the bizarre part of very calm. And I was just waiting to hear, like, is there anger in that phone call and that voice? But there wasn't.
Are you sure everything's all right?
He seemed so calm, like he did nothing. I did not confront him. We both act like it didn't happen, but it did happen. I guess this is the beginning of seeing him with his anger.
I'll see you tomorrow.
This is where I've started to notice his temper. He wanted to make sure that we got married before he went. He didn't ask me to get married, he kind of told me to get married. But I wanted him to feel safe, that I was going to be with him, that I wasn't going anywhere. So we went up there to the courthouse and I was crying. This is not what I expected a marriage to be. We had the little ceremony and that was it. About 4 months after our marriage, he left for boot camp. He gets back from boot camp and he's excited in a while. We go into the bedroom and we start to make out. And then he's like, kind of trying to put my hands behind my back and kiss me at the same time. And I felt, like, whoa, wait a minute, what's this?
Whoa, what are you doing?
I just want to try something.
He asked me about tying up. He asked me if he could do that. And he called it a game. I wanted to please him. He just got back from boot camp, and I know that must have been hard for him. So I was up for just about anything that he would wanted to do. But when he started to tie me up, it didn't seem to be a game anymore.
You might like it.
I saw the look in his eyes. It's like, I'll never forget that look in his face. I never saw that before. This doesn't feel right. And then I just said, no, I don't like this, stop.
Wait, stop, get off.
He stopped immediately and he was very apologetic to me.
I don't like this.
Hold on.
He says, oh, I'm sorry. From, what made you want to do something like that? He says, I just wanted to try something different.
You don't have to do it if you don't want to.
I'm sorry. I won't do it again. I thought it was it. I thought that I would never have to confront that again, but I was wrong. Other women would talk about what they're... You hear a lot of kinky things that go on. And I thought, well, maybe it's not all that bad. Maybe it's just me. And that's when I did allow him to tie me up the second time. He tied me up, kind of like an X style. X style would be like my arms are tied up to each side of the bed, and then my legs would be tied up to each side of the bottom part of the bed. He put a bandage on my mouth, and then he put something over my eyes as well. We didn't have actual sex. He was satisfied with just having the briefs on and rubbing himself against me. I started to get very angry, and the more angry I got, and then all of a sudden I heard the sliding door, and I'm like, James. He went around the side of the apartment, and he was actually just watching me through the window while he had me tied up. Well, at least that's what he told me he did. And who would just leave their wife and then go to the window to watch? I was really pulling on each side, trying to get out, especially when I realized that he left me there. You know, I felt very vulnerable at that point. This is not a joke. This is not funny. This is something I really do not like. And then he came back, he untied me and get me out of this! Apologized, and he didn't bring it up anymore. That was it. Looking back, I think that maybe he did that to see if I can get out. Maybe I was practice.
An urge to want to abuse women in that manner and want to have them tied.
He was very unhappy being in the service. I think the reason why he didn't like the military is because being confined underwater symptoms. When James started coming home from sea, he sort of said, well, he needed to relieve stress. Something that he always went out and did was jog. I didn't see a problem with him going out jogging. He would go out, run around, come back, and everything just seemed fine. But it was always during the nighttime, around 7.
Yep.
Sometimes he came home from work and he was just laying on the floor because he was just so tired of all the work that he did that day.
I thought you were exhausted.
I feel better.
But yet he still found time to go take that jog at night as well.
I won't take long.
And I was okay with that because I figured, hey, he's relieving stress. Looking back, I think that's when he started looking into windows in the neighborhood. This is exactly what he would wear. Combing his hair so he can go take his jog. He always brushed his hair. It's disgusting to see this picture because I know he's getting ready to go look for someone. It's just disgusting to see him. James is kind of the person who, everything in the house had to be an exact way. His routine was taking out the trash, every day, whether it was a fourth or whether it was full, he had to take out the trash. This one night, when he's gone maybe 5 minutes, he's still not back. And the trash is just around the corner, so he should have been back by then. So I went out to where the dumpster was, and I looked.
James?
At that moment, I could have swore I saw him look through the window. It made me wonder, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
I saw this lying here. What do you think?
He had a screen in his hand. He says, hey, here's a screen. We need the screen, for our window.
I think it's probably the right size.
Wait,
And I said, wait a minute. Were you looking into that window?
hold on. What's going on?
He said, no. I wasn't looking in that window. I was grabbing the screen because we need a screen. Then I said, I think I saw. And he said, I wasn't doing anything.
I already told you.
I kept asking him and asking, and the more I asked, he started to get angry. And he said, no, we can go around and knock on the door, and you can ask them. I didn't want to make a big deal out of something unless I was 100% sure, and I wasn't. So, because I didn't have proof, I just said, okay, well, in the window, I guess it was the screen that he was there for. I wish I would have listened to my instincts, but there's just no reason to suspect somebody that you're married to. In the mornings, I would open up the shade, and every time I looked downstairs, there would be this girl that she was looking directly at our apartment, as if she was looking for someone. So that gave me an eerie feeling as to why is she doing this, for what reason?
What are you looking at?
There's a woman downstairs.
Finally, I asked James, do you know anything about that? And he would say, no, I don't know anything about it. Something was odd. And then later that week, I was in the bedroom and I could hear some yelling downstairs. James is coming upstairs and I asked James, what's going on? What happened?
What was all that yelling?
And then he said, oh, it's that couple down there. He says, her husband is just starting some BS.
Over what?
I mean,
It's nothing.
he didn't give me any details. He just said he was arguing with him.
Forget about it.
He got in the car and just took off. And he took off. I went and knocked on the guy's door. And I said, can you explain to me what's going on? He goes, yes, ma'am. He says, your husband's harassing my wife. I believed him because I can see her, his body movement, his expression on his face. The man was very upset. Later on that night when James got home, I said, that argument has something to do with you harassing the girl downstairs?
I talked to the neighbor. He says you've been stalking her.
He said, no, I'm not doing that. That guy's making up the story and all this stuff to me. And I go, well, why don't we just go downstairs and let's go find out if this is true or not.
Why don't we just go and talk to them?
I don't need to talk to them.
James, what are you doing?
And then James got mad. He's yelling and screaming, pushing me around.
I'm telling the truth.
The more that I doubted him, the more violent he became. And he would hit me. His excuse would be, it's because you're not listening to me. I didn't do those things. I would not do those things. If you keep thinking this way, I'm going to hit you until you believe me. If you believe me, then you don't get hit anymore. He didn't feel as if he needed to apologize for anything. That's when I said, this is just a little bit too much, in a different way. Who is this person? I had no idea who he was. I knew that he had problems. I knew he had issues. He couldn't stop himself. I want to describe it like a lion looking for a prey. Something was eating him up inside.
The victims of what I did to stuff, I understand why they were scared. But I never intended to hurt anybody.
I used to feel bad when he went out to sea. I did not feel that anymore. And that's when I went out and got a job. I decided to go work at the daycare.
He just walked into her bedroom in the middle of the night.
So I was at the daycare, and I walked in. One ladies were talking about the peeping Tom person.
What's going on?
That's wearing a ski mask, and there was a rape that was done.
It's probably all the same guy.
They were like, Linda, you have to lock your doors and, your windows because there's somebody out there. I ignored it. It went in from one ear, out the other. That's not gonna happen to me.
Lock your doors, put your alarms on. I'll get it.
But then James, he tells me, I want you to lock the doors and the windows because there's somebody out there with a ski mask and they're looking through windows or something. The strangest thing was he was telling me about himself. And I had no idea that was him. He himself called me up to tell me to be careful of him.
Bye.
There were all little red flags that I chose to ignore because I doubted myself. I kept thinking that's not possible when it was possible. I came home from work and there were two strange men in my apartment. Everything was upside down. I mean, the cushions on the sofa were thrown here, there. The house was ransacked.
It's okay, ma'am.
One of the men showed me his badge and told me he was from the police department. They turned out to be detectives. They explained to me the morning.
What did he do?
Might be easier if you have a seat.
They said he was watching a 53-year-old woman undress through her window.
Wait, hang on.
They went on and they told me that they suspected that he was this person with a ski mask, this rapist that was out there.
He fits a pattern of behavior we look for in a case like this.
I said, no, this is crazy. I don't think so, no. No. I believed he was a peeping Tom, but I did not believe he was a rapist. They told me that there was a woman that was raped at gunpoint, and they asked me if he had owned a gun.
Does your husband own a firearm?
And I said yes.
He has a pistol.
And they said, well, that's funny because your husband said he is. Right then and there, I realized that he lied to the police. I didn't understand why, but I know 100% that I don't know who he is anymore. I don't know who James is. I have no idea what happened to the gun. He must have had gotten rid of everything, so the police didn't have enough evidence to hold him.
Okay, I think we're
to the Navy, and the Navy wanted him out, so he got discharged from the military. I had intended on leaving him. Then I found out I was pregnant. And that changed everything, because I'm thinking, well, now what I'm going to do? Well, told me if there's anything that I find, just go ahead and give them a call and they'll come pick it up. So I just wanted to find something I can give to the police department. I would check the car, the glove box, under the seats, the back of the trunk, just to see if there was evidence. One time I found some rope, and I I immediately went to his parents' house and I said, look, is this not proof that James is up to something? And I tried to show them, look, he's never going to change. And the mother said, give them to me. I'm going to show him to his father. We'll let his father handle it. And his father never handled it. But I realized that his family wasn't going to help whatsoever. When I was talking to James's family members, they said,
we have something we need to tell you, and we should have told you a long time ago.
And I was told that he had molested a family.
We don't know all the details, but it did involve some sort of bondage.
He started tying her up the same exact way he tied me up. He actually had his briefs on and did the same thing that he did to me. And this is not the James I thought I married. This James is a monster. And I knew that there was no fixing that, because that's something that he grew up doing. And that's something that's implanted in him. So it's gonna be a matter of time before he does it again. I didn't want that same pattern to continue on, so I decided that's when I was gonna see to it that he got put away.
Did anybody ever say anything? We couldn't.
Then I asked them for help. I said, it's my word against his. I had no proof. You know, the mother had already took the proof and probably got rid of it. Y'all need to come with me and say something, you know, so that he can be put away. He's gonna hurt someone.
Please.
But they were fearful. They were like, no, do you know what he would do if he got out? He would kill us. We can't do that. We're scared of him.
Oh, please.
I'm sitting there just pleading for them to help me. Come forward, because he's gonna do it again.
You just need to leave. Get away from him.
But nobody was gonna control them 100%. All of them.
We have to stop him.
Then I just kept thinking, okay, well then I've got to figure out what am I going to do to get him caught.
How does it make you feel when you have him tied, James?
I feel excited and aroused and nervous and scared all at the same time.
This is a picture of me and my daughter when she was little. I didn't want James to have any part of her. I needed to protect her. It would have been a blessing if he would have been arrested. It gave James the opportunity to roam around the streets. He went back to his normal routine right after my baby was born. We went to the hospital, and right after she was born, he was ready to head out the door immediately.
Where are you going?
Obviously, he needed to scratch that itch that he had.
You can't stay a little longer?
And I knew there was nothing I can do.
Why? You don't need me.
I couldn't keep an eye on him anymore, and he took advantage of that.
James.
He was only around for like 5 minutes, and then he was gone.
You're fine.
How dare him come and witness the birth of my daughter and then turn to look for a victim. I knew that once he left the hospital, he was going to start doing something. I didn't know what, but I knew somebody might get hurt tonight. And it seemed like there was no stopping him. pictures taken on Halloween trick-or-treating with him. It bothered me because I think that was an opportunity for him to see who lived where in the neighborhoods. That's why he would always hold my daughter, look like he's a friendly father. He used that as an opportunity to knock on the doors just to see who opens the door, or whether maybe that can be a potential victim. There was this one night where James didn't come home, and the phone rang, and I answered it, and it was him. And he says, I was arrested, and I need you to come get me out of jail. And I said, oh, you finally got caught. It's not what you think. It's because I didn't have insurance, and one of the stickers on the car had expired. That's the reason I got pulled over. Come get me out. But don't go get the car, okay? I'll go get the car. And I said, okay. There's something about the car that he doesn't want me to get. When I picked up the car from the car lot, I found I was like, wow, okay, great. I finally got something, and I can't touch it because then he's gonna say that I'm planting it there. So then I called the police department.
I left everything where I found it. You'll see.
When the officer came and he searched the car, he actually found a play gun in the back of the trunk. The officer, he says, what is this? I go, well, he's using this and he's raping victims, and this is proof. He gives me his card and he says, I'll be back in touch with you. I was angry about that because I thought, I guess nobody gives a shit. I didn't understand what was taking so long.
And we'll look into it more closely, all right?
I felt like, what else could I do? Later, the reason they didn't pick him up was because they didn't have enough evidence at the time. This is a picture of James. Everything's going his way. I can see it in his face. He didn't think that he can be stopped. He's getting away with everything, and nothing's happening. This is when, control. It was just a tipping point. You just didn't know what was going to happen. It was so difficult to live with someone like that.
What about the cross above him?
When we worked first together, all he talked about was church and how Catholics don't do this and don't do that. It was just part of the act, I guess, of pretending. He used the cross, or he used God as a way to justify what he does. He's such a coward. We all have a belief in the cross and what it means to us, but he, on the other hand, twisted it in a different direction, in an evil direction. This smirk on his face says it all. I confronted him. You know you're a dangerous person, right?
This needs to end, James.
And he agreed. He said, yes, I know that I need to be stopped. He admitted to me that that's exactly what he was doing.
I know.
I remember telling him, look, why don't you just hire a prostitute? They'll do whatever you want. Why don't you do that?
Someone who consents.
And he said, it's not the same. I don't want someone willingly. That was what he said.
It does nothing for me if they're faking it.
What turned him on was control. Tying them up, having his way with them, seeing them resist. And then that's when he says, well, you're gonna have to let me have sex with you if you want me. I'm thinking that if I didn't let him, then he would go out and attack someone else. So I did. I let him have sex. I remember looking at the corner of the ceiling until he finished.
I don't.
I hated it when he did it. I cried, but I thought that would be a way that maybe he would stop hurting. I had to let him do this, but he didn't like that because I was not participating. I was completely numb, so he couldn't stop himself. There's no way someone like that can stop. It only escalates to something far more.
My dad and I would pretend that I was a city worker for the water commission. That it would be easier to enter an apartment without breaking into it.
Time took its course, and they finally caught him because he did a 15-year-old girl, and she was able to fight back, and she was able to identify him. Those words were just music to my ears. Bingo, it's over. He's finally in jail. They got him. It's making my hands sweat just looking at it. To choose his targets by jogging through neighborhoods and the apartment complexes, looking for open garage doors or other forms of unlocked access. Police said he got a small amount of money from some of his victims. This is just true. You know why? Because one time I checked his car and there was money that the rug. And he was right there, and he grabbed the money, and he said, "That is mine. Don't you take that." So, I would assume, you know how they take something from their victims as a souvenir? I bet you that's what that was. Well, I don't want to see that anymore. This is a sketch that the girl that sort of saw him said that her attacker looked like. He was walking around the complex. He took a white coat and he put that on. He had a hard hat on, a clipboard that he used, and he pretended to be he would gain access into some women's homes by telling them he's there to test the water. He would go into their bathroom and he would unlock one of their windows without them knowing. That way he was able to come back. When he was arrested, I pleaded with him to tell the police everything. I says, "You really need to tell them everything. Tell them. It's the only way you're going to be able to help yourself. Tell them everything you did." He says, "Okay, I will. But you're going to be there, right?" I told him that I would stand by him, but I had no intention. Sure. Anything you say. See him get put away for a long time.
You're doing the right thing.
He started confessing. The officer said that he sang like a canary.
I began wanting to see women undressed through windows. After that, that's when I got the idea to ring the home. And from then on, it got worse.
He would just drive around the neighborhoods looking, seeing if there's someone that he liked. And if he liked them, he would go back again to see if they live alone.
How did you pick this individual? Just by random. I was driving by, and I just happened to see her completely.
How easy it was to go into people's houses. How people just leave their doors open, unlocked, and their windows unlocked. He described it as if it was inviting for him.
I entered to the side door. The woman was standing there with her young child. And she laid down on the floor right when she saw me. She didn't even say anything. She didn't scream or anything.
He apologized to them after he assaulted them, and then he would offer them advice as to locking doors for people like him.
I untied her and said I was going to leave. I said I was sorry for scaring her and doing what I did. And then I left.
I wanted to know why. Why did you do these things? Didn't know why he did them. All he said is that it started when he was a young boy. It was inside him a long time ago.
How did you develop this urge at the age of 12? What brought it on?
TV shows, movies, stuff that I've seen.
When I did ask him, don't you feel bad for? He said, I feel nothing. That's what he said. I feel nothing.
I just hope that all the people will know that I'm sorry. I want them to know that.
He confessed to 15, but he can't even remember how many people that he's attacked. We know 15 for sure, but he says maybe 30.
I want something at all. And I know everybody hates me for the things I've done. I know I need help. I didn't want to hurt anybody. I hope that everybody I did it to is okay, so they can relax and know that I'll never hurt anybody again.
Mark on his face. The only difference is the hair is gray now. Every 3 years, he gets a chance at parole. So far, he's been denied several times. I remember back what the police officer had told me. He says there's a chance that he could be released one day. And me seeing his photo and seeing I'm sure he would do the same thing he did before. But this time, maybe kill his victims, because I don't think he would actually want to be in prison again. So this time, I think he would take it another step further. James served divorce papers while he was in court during the trial. And he signed away all custody rights of my baby to me. So I knew that I was finally, but I just didn't trust anybody anymore. I knew that I needed time. So I waited for time to pass before I started dating again. I decided to put the past behind me. If you want to go forward in your life, you want to move on, not think about the past constantly and dwell upon what happened. You've got to make a change in your life and move forward. I check periodically just to see when he's up for parole next. He will keep getting an opportunity. And if he were to get out tomorrow, I can guarantee you that he would do the same thing again.
It hurts a lot to think how my husband changed so much. When the detectives were talking to me, I alone, and I nearly had a seizure. I feel like just lucky to be alive. It's a big loss. I still think about it. Like every day, my smiles are fake. Little break. it's over with. Okay. I cannot change him. I can't. And it's not my fault.
George Izagiri has died in what appears to be a suicide.
George took his secrets to the grave, and I have a really bad feeling that George killed more people than what we're aware of. I lived with a killer, and now I have nothing. How many things he did. George and I met through being neighbors, essentially. He lived right upstairs, and he was the weed guy. I needed to get away from my bad ex. He went to jail, and I finally realized that I could get my locks changed.
We're over.
When George came knocking on the door, I told him that I had kicked my boyfriend out.
Oh, sorry, George.
Is everything okay in here? Where's,
He said he always wondered why I was with him. And so that to me was like, oh, he's been noticing me.
I always thought you could do a lot better.
Yeah?
It was an instant attraction.
Stuff?
He would do things like cook for me and really just was so sweet that I was a bit swept off my feet.
Does this mean that you're free tonight?
Maybe.
He would just, suggest that we snuggle and watch a movie and cuddle up together and order pizza or drink a beer, and he always knew what to say.
It's him again.
George actually answered the phone when my ex was harassing me. He was calling me over and over and threatening me, and George was like, hey, I'm her new guy, leave her alone. And it actually worked. It made me think, man, he's so right. Like, can this...
If you need help, you can call me.
Okay.
We started living together after only knowing he just wanted me to move in. He told me to quit my job at Burger King. He was like, get a job you like, I'll pay the rent, it's okay.
We spent most of our time together anyway.
My gut had told me that I was moving in with him too soon, and I thought that might be a sign of him trying to control me. I thought, well, if I don't have my own then if he decides to break up with me or something, I'll have nothing.
I can't ask you to do that.
I'm not trying to pressure you or anything.
But I did not follow my gut. It was easy because it was just right upstairs, and I might as well save the money. And I just felt very supported. I believed him, even though I should not have given up my independence so quickly. Red flags and done something about it, then I would have stayed more independent, because once I moved in with him, things definitely changed. I think that there was a lot of signs that George was pretty controlling. When I moved in with him, I had asked if they could come with me, of course, and he didn't express that he had a problem with it. And then when I moved in, it was like a constant bickering about it. Like, he hated them being on the furniture. This is not what he wanted. He wanted me to live there, not my cats. It was about this time that I started to see a side of George that I had not. One day, I walked in from work, and I went in my bedroom I saw him on all fours, and he has the taser in his hand.
I said get over here, you little bitch!
George!
And he's trying to continue tasing the cat that's hiding from him under the bed.
What the hell are you doing? Leave her alone.
Just relax.
His eyes are big. I think he likes torture. That was really scary. I was like shaking, like, please don't. He tried to just laugh it off like it doesn't really hurt. Like I can tase myself right now. I'll tase you. Like so you can see it doesn't hurt. And I'm like, no.
But this doesn't even hurt. Come here, let me show you.
Get the hell away from...
I didn't understand why he liked to pick on things smaller than him. He's kind of a monster in a way, but I didn't want to believe that. I kind of was trying to live in a fairy tale.
I'm sick of them.
What?
And that's one of my defense mechanisms in my head is to like build up the good things about a person and kind of look past the bad. And I don't do that anymore.
They're animals. They
convince me that cats are wild animals. We should let them go in the woods and they'll be fine.
But they're not wild.
Relax.
I had a hard time believing that.
No.
They'll be fine.
And I was very emotional. I put up a pretty big fight about it.
Please, George.
I'm crying. I'm begging him. He didn't care. He didn't comfort me. It almost felt like he was going to kick me out if I kept the cats. I felt like I was facing homelessness.
If you don't want to stay here anymore, that's fine. But if you do want to stay, the cats have to go.
He got to a point where he's like, this is happening.
Bag 'em up.
We're doing it. They'll be fine. I was just crying quietly and petting my cat goodbye, pretty much. I'd hope that they'd find a safer home. I don't know if they made it, or if someone did take them in. I always hoped that that's what it was, that they were in somebody's house. But I'm pretty sure if I would have kept the cats, George would have killed them. George was a lot nicer after I got rid of the cats, and then he melted my heart with that. It felt like kind of back to the beginning of how it was when I would just come up to his apartment. But it was about this time when I started to see different signs. George had a big collection of knives that long. He had one that was just really sharp and little. But I'd say his everyday knife was the butterfly knife. And he liked to play with his knives a lot. He knew how to flip it in a way that he could just play with it and roll it around his fingers as like a nervous habit. I didn't really understand that. Like, what are you contemplating while you fidget with that? My brother likes knives and isn't a bad person, and I didn't necessarily think of it as too much of a problem. But George's temper changed a lot. It was like ups and downs.
What are you doing home already?
I left early. Something happened.
George had a few different jobs, but the longest job he had during our relationship was at a beanbag factory. And one day, he was really mad at work, and George just sliced and diced a whole pile of beanbags.
I got a little angry. It's not a big deal.
I was really scared to find out he could lose his temper like that at work. To just start stabbing things so destructively. There were times I was worried he would come home ranting and raving about how lazy certain people were.
The people I work with are morons.
And those people probably were in danger.
Are you gonna get fired?
No one saw anything.
I didn't know what to do about it. I couldn't change what he did. I tried to understand him and didn't really recognized how serious it was that at work. To be honest, I probably should have known he was capable of, like, being a killer. Once he started drinking more, the way he treated me definitely changed. When I found a job at a pet store that I loved, I thought it was great, and get certified in pet nutrition. So it felt like I was becoming educated, and it was definitely going in the right direction, but he didn't like that. Like, I think he wanted me to stay at a certain level. He said things under his breath about me quite often that were pretty scary.
I might have to stay late after my class to meet up with my study group down to the shelter to volunteer.
Never shuts the hell up. Never damn peace and quiet.
A lot of times under his breath, he would say, I wish she would just shut the up.
I'm so sick of this.
I wish I could sew her mouth shut, or like, I should strangle that bitch. Who does she think she is?
George?
What?
What did you just say?
He wasn't saying it to me, but I knew it was about me. A lot.
Nothing. Just talking to myself.
I said to him, like, I don't know what you said when you were walking away, but it sounded like a threat to me. And he would say, like, well, you know, when I get pissed, I just talk like I'm not going to do anything about it. You're fine. That I was safe by being agreeable.
Are you mad at me or something?
Just go to bed. I'm going to take a shower.
It's hard to think about because it seems like I felt threatened enough by him to be quiet. Christmas party for his job at the beanbag factory, and we were at the work party sitting at our table, and one of the bosses was on the microphone and he was calling people up to select random prizes off of a table.
A little gesture of appreciation to mark 5 years of hard work.
And then he announced that he'd be giving out a bonus and said George's name.
Oh yeah, give it up to George. You know, your hard work has not gone unnoticed.
George went up and it was a large size check. So they were taking pictures of it, and he seemed happy in the moment. But when he came back to the table, he started talking about the low amount of the check.
Thanks, George. Good job. One more time, George.
George said, I can't believe that all I get is $100. His boss was a millionaire, and I think he just started to think about how he could get some of that money that he deserved.
Are you kidding me? I've been here for 5 years.
Before I knew it, he was like mumbling about robbing his boss.
$20 a year? Is that what I've really earned?
The owner of his company is busy at this party right now, so he's gonna go rob the home of the company owner, and then he ended up, and they took off.
Wait, where are you guys going?
I was waiting for him to come back. Like, what am I supposed to do at this work party alone? My brain was kind of going in circles about what he was up to. And when he came back, all he wanted to do is just go. And I was like, I thought he'd want to hang out at the party.
Come on, let's get...
George, where did you get that?
It was always a weird feeling when George all of a sudden had stacks of money and I had no idea how he got it.
Don't worry about it.
I am pretty positive that George took the money from his boss's safe that night. And it's a crime that I don't think anyone really ever figured out. George kept a lot from me. I feel like he more than had a double life. He had like tons of lives.
my God. Where have you been?
He would talk about robbing people, and I really didn't know what to think of it or how. I started going to a hotel and just staying there for days and not telling me what was going on.
I haven't seen you in days.
He'd come back with a lot of money.
Where's that from?
Things are looking up.
I think that he was selling harder drugs than I was even aware of. And he was kind of in a gloating mood when he came back, and it was different than normal. I was curious, like, what's going on? What's making you so happy?
There was a guy that kept getting in my way, but...
And he's like, this guy has been trying to step on my toes, and I won't have to worry about that anymore.
But that's over.
He's out of the way.
It's done.
Done?
He's not going to be a problem anymore.
It ran across my mind, like, what do you mean he's out of the way? It more that George might have done something.
You took care of it?
I was like, what do you mean he's out of the way? He said, mind your own business, or like, we don't need to go there. Like, you need to just trust me.
I don't understand.
Look, forget about it. It's not important.
George rationalized robbing drug dealers by the way of they were not good for society.
Look, I'm gonna go get cleaned up.
And that nobody probably even will notice if they're missing.
Let's go out and have ourselves a good time, okay?
I checked the news to see if anything came from a murder at the hotel that I knew he went to. And there was no mention of anything. I really don't know what he did.
Hey, you ready to go?
I don't know if he's, like, killed other drug dealers.
Yeah, let's go.
But I'm pretty sure he killed that guy. George and I got married in 2011. We knew each other about 4 years before we got married. I never got a proper proposal. Told me we were getting married. I never was the type that really wanted to get married, but I think I fell into that trap of when you reach a certain age and everyone you know is getting married. I felt a lot of social pressure to go to the next step. He wanted us to get married on Halloween, and it's a little creepy. He wanted kind of like a gothic wedding, like all black, and I just didn't want to invite my family to that, so we compromised and did a black and white wedding. Right before we got married, he had been going to AA, and he was, I thought, on the upside of not drinking anymore. I still could. I thought, actually, that marriage would make us better, stronger. But just because you're married to someone doesn't mean that they will be less of a crappy person. As soon as he had the green light that we were married, most of his good behavior went away. A couple weeks after we got married, George came home with 2 teardrop tattoos on his face. George just walked in the front door and he's smiling.
Oh my God. George, what is that?
And I'm like, what's on your face? I'm like, is that...
Are you crazy?
George did not understand why I was at all shocked about his teardrop tattoos. Teardrop tattoos usually represent people that you've killed.
Have you killed someone?
What?
But he's like, there's different meanings for teardrops.
These are for my buddies in the army. I'm just paying my respects.
It doesn't mean he killed anybody. He got these teardrops for people like, who? And he's like, oh, I have a couple friends that served in Iraq, and I got him to remember them. He had told me he was just waiting for the wedding pictures, so that it wasn't in the wedding pictures. It was fishy.
George, people are going to think you're a killer.
So? Let him. I don't care.
You don't care.
After George got the tattoos, a lot of different. It looks like you're a murderer.
You don't care if people think you're a murderer.
Why should I?
One time we went into Speedway and the gas attendant was like, hey, you got those teardrops because you killed somebody or something? And he's like, do you want to find out? You want to be like the third one? That's not what you told me. What I was supposed to believe is what he's telling them true, and he's really dangerous. And who are these people that were important enough kills to put on his face?
Well, I hate them.
Too bad.
I don't know who those people might be. And his teardrops were for the first two people he killed, or if it was just ones that he was particularly proud of, because I think he possibly could have killed people before that. But I stayed with George after that because I felt stuck. I was scared to leave him because anytime I threatened to leave him, he threatened to kill me. Shortly after George had been at a bar, there was a killing on the news.
Fighting broke out overnight between women.
Oh my God.
The news just explained that there was a bar fight and it was getting broken up by bouncers, and so some of the fight went outside of the bar and someone ended up getting stabbed that night. They had some camera footage of all the people fighting each other, but they didn't have proof of who stabbed the guy in the parking lot. When I saw it on the news, I was pretty worried that George was involved because he'd had previous problems at that bar, and I just felt kind of sick to my stomach about it. Like, what happened that night?
Weren't you there last night?
And he's like, I don't know. He said that, yeah, some people might have went outside, and I don't know who went outside. And I'm supposed to believe that.
Did you see what happened?
Not really.
When I asked him if he was going to be in trouble, he told me to shut up. He really didn't like that my brain wanted to pick it apart.
So, you were there, but you don't know what happened?
Asking questions that he'd snap on me.
Turn that crap off. I'm sick of hearing about it.
Wondering if my husband had been part of a bar stabbing. I didn't feel safe with him anymore. David and George had been friends since second grade. David was breaking up, made sense for him to move in with us. We financially needed his help. He paid half the rent. David was a very sweet guy.
Hey man, you headed out? Yeah, just grabbing a couple things from the store for Jen. You need anything?
For Jen?
He was very generous. He smiled a lot.
You shouldn't let her boss you around like that.
But David and George had a interesting friendship where they kind of constantly talked crap to each other. But George always won. When George and David argued, it was almost always David backing down. He oftentimes got right in the middle of George and I's arguments.
And I told you to mind your own damn...
When David would realize I wasn't getting a word in, he'd speak up for me.
You don't return my phone calls.
I can do whatever I want. If you don't like that...
Whoa, hey, guys.
He'd say, I think what Jen is trying to say is that.
Just take it easy, all right? Excuse me?
I appreciated when David stuck up for me very much. That is what made him my best friend in that time.
Was anyone talking to you?
But David took my side.
Well, no, I just thought that maybe you should just shut the hell up.
George would just kind of get to a point where he'd be like, this is between me and her. Like, this is not your problem. Back up. Usually he just kind of tucked his tail and gave up. He would sense that it was pissing George off and kind of butt out.
Stay the hell out of it.
I think David knew when to back off because he felt a little bit threatened by him. George's behavior got worse and worse over time. George was very upset. He was feeling like I was becoming a career woman who wouldn't need him, and he didn't want that. And he wasn't okay with me working at a safe house with women. I started as just a volunteer. I was doing assessments and helping other women find safe houses. And a lot of the questions made it clear to me that for being in this safe house, I made a plan to move in with my sister. And when I moved out of the duplex, I let George and David stay there with my dog. I needed to get away. He owed me quite a bit of money for phone bills I had paid for him. So George agreed to come over and give me money back for the phone bill that I had paid. As we were at the ATM, it seemed like he was shifting through a pile of cards.
Something wrong?
And was getting more and more pissed that none of them were working.
Come on, damn it.
Give me the money. The way he was leaning on the machine, at one point, I wondered if he was trying to cover up the camera. I was definitely wondering, like, what he was trying to limit me from seeing.
Thing always giving me trouble.
He tried probably 10 cards. It was obvious that they weren't his. I don't know if he fails to realize you can't just steal people's cards.
George, where did you get them?
He was able to get me the $100.
What do you care?
And I was pretty concerned that he might have given me stolen money. He just said, well, you got your money, didn't you? I'm not sure how many people that stack of credit cards came from. Each one of those cards could have represented a different victim. It had been about a week since I had heard from David and George.
Hi, it's me again.
I reached out to George and he did not respond. And I tried to reach out to David and he did not respond. And I was really of them not getting back to me.
Hi, David.
David usually gets right back to people.
Hey, it's me again.
I called George's mom to see if she had seen him.
Hi, I was just wondering if you've heard from him.
And she told me that the last time she saw him was on Thanksgiving. She said that he seemed a little bit depressed and that he left, and that he had a gun. And I started to get really worried. I did hear from one of David's friends that they couldn't find David and that they called David's phone and George answered and said that David went on a trip.
I just don't understand.
And it didn't make sense to this. He was expected for Thanksgiving. I began to wonder, were the two together? Did something go wrong? I thought, what if George spent the rent money from David on drugs and David threatened to tell me about it? Or what in the world could it be I did not know what the hell happened. And so I called my sister, and she's like, when I called the police, I said that I was worried about my husband being missing. That last I heard that he had a gun and that I need to get my dog back. And they said that they needed to meet me. When I got to the Duke, this is a crime scene, and I did not know for what.
Sir, excuse me, sir, I have to get in to get my dog.
Hold on a moment.
While we were out front, the police were essentially asking if they had permission to search the duplex. And I said yes.
I need to ask you a few questions.
They needed to search before giving me my dog back.
Did you ever observe him?
They were asking me if George, if I thought he was a dangerous person. And at that point, I never felt so ready to say, yes, he's dangerous.
Well, I know he's robbed people, and he's hinted at things.
I had to tell them that he was involved in selling drugs. I had to tell them that he had a bad temper. I had to tell them that he carried knives. It was a big weight off my chest because I suppressed that for a very long time. When I first walked into the duplex, it smelled like bleach. The first thing I noticed was the window, and there was no couch. The living room was oddly emptied out other than the scraps of bags of food that my dog found and got into. From my understanding of the crime scene, he had cut the carpet out so there was no blood. And then he cleaned up the bathroom so well with all the bleach that he put everywhere. He just left all the windows to air out the murder scene. But all I knew was I was walking through a crime scene and I did not know for what. There was really not much evidence left behind as far as what they could see. I was able to walk through and get my dog and bring her into the backyard. And they said they might be in there investigating for a day. Detectives will be in touch with you. I really wanted to believe that George killed himself and that somehow David tried to stop him and got hurt. I definitely didn't expect what did happen. I found out what George did when he was...
36-year-old George Izaguirre turned himself into police Tuesday after walking to the Home Depot in Wyoming and admitting he stabbed 2 people, including his roommate.
The reason that George gave for killing David was that David said something that upset him. So he waited till he went to sleep and then he killed him. I thought that they said 7 times, and then I found out from the news it was 71. That's so many stabbings. That's like more than a minute of stabbing.
He then turned himself in Tuesday morning after also allegedly killing another friend, 63-year-old Ed Fuller.
Izaguirre admitted to stabbing Fuller to death while attempting to rob him in Fuller's credit cards at numerous businesses.
They said to George, "Would you kill again?" He said, "Yeah." I'm pretty sure that yes is me. When he got transferred to prison, he would call me. I did not answer any of George's phone calls. I'm not sure why he wanted to talk to me so badly or what he thought he could say to me. He just wrote me the one letter. He said that I can't ever take the memories. He understands I won't talk to him no matter how much he reaches out, but he will sit there and just think of me and live in the control that. I visited the jail to serve divorce papers, but I did not see him. And he refused to sign the divorce papers. He would not divorce me. It took 8 months. In May of 2021, I got a call from the prison saying that they had regretted to inform me that George has taken his life. I felt like he's a coward that should have just killed himself sooner. And I feel really mean saying that. I just felt like he could have done that in the first place so that other people wouldn't have been killed. It just made me so pissed for David's family that there's no justice for him to do this. It's so cowardly. But I just really feel like the world is safer with him gone. And so George is better off dead. I lived with a killer, and now I have nothing but how many things he did. I have a really bad feeling that George killed more people than what we're aware of. It's really hard to think about how many people could have been affected now that they have his DNA and know the way he did the killings that we are aware of. I would like to know if more that's connected to him. It's really not fair that he could just take it to the grave with him.